Hey, what's up, guys? I'm bringing you a Stamina Nightblade updated build for the Shadow of the Hist update or patch. So let's get into it. First things first, I'm a Red Guard. Um, you can also be an Imperial or Orc. Um, just for this build alone, I wouldn't run Khajiit or Wood Elf, but it also works. But your primary choices are Red Guard, Imperial, or Orc. Now, 64 points in his Stamina. And unbuffed, our stats are 10k max magicka, 22k health, 28.5 max dam, 3k weapon damage, 40% crit, 10k resistances, 2.1 crit resistance, and 17.5k stam recovery. Now use the Warrior Mundus and Tri-Staff Food. With this build, if you want more stamina recovery, which is an option, you can use max health, stam recovery. Tricep's good because you like cloak's very helpful, but you can also just run max health and max stam. That's kind of up to you. Alright, so for the gear, we have 5-piece shield breaker. And on the big pieces of our gear, we have tri-stat chance for a little bit extra health because we kind of run low on health, and extra magicka for cloak. So you can buy this from the Imperial City vendor and make sure you get impen on these pieces. And then we have Blood Spawn and Molakina. By the way, it's all medium armor. It's just for good recovery and just, reduce costs. It's just how I like to run it. So here you have a few options. I'm running 1-piece Molakina, 1-piece Blood Spawn. If you're confident in your ability to manage your resources, you can use another piece of Molakina here for the extra weapon damage. Which actually would bring you up to like 5.2k weapon damage. But you have increased costs, so it's based on your preference. Also, if you want to be a little bit more tanky, just add 1 piece of Blood Spawn, and you'll get more ultimate, and you can be here. Then we have 3-piece agility, 1 stam recovery, and 2 weapon damage. Like I said before, if you're really comfortable with your resource management, you can just run 3 weapon damage. Although this build is like I want to stack stam recovery, just because I want. Like, my main defense for this build is dodge roll, vigor combo type thing. Then we have a Maelstrom Maul, but this actually doesn't need to be a Maelstrom Maul because we're using unresistible damage. The reason why is because it stacks well with Shield Breaker, so the 2000 plus the 1000, it's pretty good. Fully buffed, it's fully buffed, you can crit 5k unresistible damage. Then we have the Master's Bow, which again is not something you need. Actually, don't really want a Master's Bow. You can just make anything random, and we put their weapon damage enchant on here. And we have defending on the bow, sharpened on the maul. Defending because I'm usually on the defensive when I'm on my bow. Sharpen's not as useful for me. Except for the skills. You'll realize it's a lot like Cypher's build, just because it's a really well made build. But I'll tell you some options you have. This is how I run it. But yeah, I changed it up on occasion. The first attack is surprise attack, an ambush, an executioner. Then we have mass hysteria. Just a fear. Very, very powerful. Then rally. Then in-cap strike. Something you can use instead is Dawnbreaker of Smiting for the stun. And if you want to go straight up weapon damage, you can use Flawless Dawnbreaker, which really shoots your weapon damage up. With Flawless and Molakina and weapon damage enchant, you can hit 6k weapon damage on this build. So it's quite amazing actually. But I run in-cap strike. It's easier to use. It's a nice heal debuff. I just like it. So on the back bar, you're on poison injection. This is where you have a few choices. So before, how I said you can, if you don't want to run a lot of stamina recovery, if you want to just stack damage, you have an option here. Something kind of cool you can do is you can put Malakina here, get that extra almost 800 weapon damage, and then put the weapon damage here, straight up go all weapon damage, and then you can go into siphoning attacks, and instead of poison injection, you can bigger than siphon. So that kind of like makes up for your resource problem. That's a really cool combo actually you can do. But if you don't want to do that, you can just use poison arrow here and then vigor. Then relentless focus, just really good for your stamina recovery and extra damage. Then we have shuffle, dodge chance, and then shadow disguise. The morph is up to you actually, because the way I run this is when I'm on the bow, I'm on the defensive. So the other morph isn't that bad because you take the reduced damage. Although my thinking here is, although occasionally I use it on offense, and I like the crit, but also if you activate this into a vigor, your vigor will crit. So it's more valuable to me to have the guaranteed crit, but it's kind of up to you what you want to do. Then we have Ice Comet. Not necessarily super jacked up from the CP. I mean, it's not ideal, but it still has a decent tooltip. A 10k, and with Relentless Focus, it has 11k. So it's definitely pretty powerful. You can run Soul Shred. You can run Barrier. You can run quite a bit of things here. This is your choice right there. Alright, now the champion points. So we have 100 in the Mooncalf. On the live game, you'd put 100 in Mooncalf and 77 into Tumbling. And if you don't want to do that much in Tumbling, you can do like 50 in Tumbling, and then the rest in the Warlord. You can like split it up. But you definitely want 100 into Mooncalf. Then we want 100 in the Mighty and 77 into Precise Strikes. You could also, Precise Strikes is pretty much your best option here. You could also put some stuff for Shattering Blows, since we already have like really good damage against shield sackers. That's quite nice. Then you'd run. This is something I've been thinking about lately. Just running 100 into Resistance and splitting the two into here. That also, it causes you to not have it Unchained. It's a really nice ability to have. So you reduce the stamina cost of all abilities for 3 seconds after breaking free. It's useful because if you get stunned, you can break free. Then like Vigor, Dodge Roll will activate all your buffs again. It's really cheap, almost free. So there's that point where what you could do is pick a 60 in each of these and put the rest in the resistant. But it's really nice to have a lot of resistance, especially since we have Impen, and it makes us a lot more tankier than it should be. So let me show you my buff stats. They're quite nice, and they vary based on each person. So, yeah. Give me a second. So, you have 3, 8, 2, 1 weapon damage, and the 2k stam recovery, as you've seen right there. Yeah, 2k stam recovery, which is really nice. And when you kill somebody with the 2-hand, it pops up to 2.4. So it's really nice to kill people. What's up, guys? So I'm gonna show you now the Molokina setup with more weapon damage. So instead, you take out your blood spawn, you put up a Molokina, um, and then you trade out your recovery free weapon damage on your accessories. And without the Molokina or the weapon damage enchant, you get 4K, which is quite great. But you see low stam. Pretty much what that means is to substitute to like fix that, you use siphoning attacks. So your light attacks restore 1,000 stamina, and then indirect attacks can restore 2,000. And let me show you with Molokina now. So all of those activate. You get 5.2k weapon damage, which is quite great. Most only gank builds can barely get to that sometimes. So have a pretty great option there. Instead of using blood spawn and the recovery, you just use all weapon damage in Molokina, and you can hit 5.2k weapon damage. And with gold gear, you could probably hit 5.4, 5.5. So it's quite great, and you have decent sustain still. It's not just straight up gank. It's not. You still have sustain. That's the great part about it. So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you use the build, tell me how it goes, and see you later, guys.